Simula silang with passion about fitness, napapalitan ng parang basta lang magkaroon ako ng pera kahit magkano para mabuhay. Which is, I think, dapat hindi gano'n.
Medyo nakakatakot yung ganung mindset.
Kasi madali bumagsak pa tuloy-tuloy yun eh.
Tuloy-tuloy na di ba?
A lot of coaches fear rejection. Thinking, if I price myself this way, walang kukuha. Tapos mangyayari, wala na akong kliyente. Hindi.
Ang tanong, Coach, ano yung mindset pillars mo bilang isang fitness entrepreneur?
Third pillar ko all the time is always coach with integrity.
So hello mga ka-legit. So welcome to another episode ulit sa Keep It Legit with Ja Podcast. So baka nakikita nyo siguro dito kung sino yung kasama ko. And matagal ko nang gusto talaga maging guest tong si Coach. And I'll let him introduce himself. So again, kung di pa kayo nagka-subscribe dito sa channel ko sa Spotify or YouTube, mag-subscribe na kayo kasi dito nyo lang makikita. I think ang target ko talaga is dito nyo makikita yung mga straightforward about fitness, self-development, lifestyle, and of course, dito ko hopefully ma-introduce din yung mga ibang tao na dapat din natin pinapakinggan when it comes to that aspect. So without further ado, so I'll let this coach introduce himself to you guys. Tapos may mga tanong sa kanya na ibabato and hopefully marami kayong makuha from him. So, tatawain ko lahat si Coach A. So, Coach A, pakilala ka sa mga audience natin.
Hi everyone, my name is Coach A. How to introduce myself? Well, I'm a coach for the past 15 years. I went into coaching 2010. So, I'm an entrepreneur. I have been building gyms since 2012. I'm also a certified life coach. And I've traveled the world coaching in different places, and my insights about coaching is all about, I believe that fitness is any person's way to become the best and successful version of themselves. Right now, I'm operating a private training studio here in Pasig, and that's where we're at right now, here in my studio.
So actually, dito kami sa studio, private studio ni Coach A. And ito na yung bago studio niya. Nung niyaya ko si Coach A mag-podcast, dun sa lumang studio niya. So, parang very blessed. At saka, timing na sa mas magandang aesthetic studio. So, mamaya, baka pakita ko yung mga pictures sa inyo dito sa episode na to. So, kukuha na naman picture after na itong podcast natin. So, yung Coach, siguro, I'll also take advantage of the benefit na makilala ka rin. So, aside from sa mga sinabi mo kanina about you, ang first question ko sa iyo, Coach, is before being Coach A na ngayon nakikita natin sa Instagram, sino ka, Coach? Ano yung career or pinagdaanan before being the Coach A today?
Ever since I was a kid, sports was a part of my life. I played a lot of sports. I used to do a lot of boxing, jiu-jitsu. I also played a lot of football in college. And sports have been a very significant part of my life. Pero for the last decade or so, Coach A na talaga ako eh. In fact, dami nagsasabi, first name ko daw Coach, second name ko A. Kung baka Coach A na talaga yung pangalan. I find it funny, but at the same time, it's true. That's been my identity for more than 10 years. 15 years na ako nagko-coach, and my philosophy is always, ever since dati, is strength. Kasi before I went to coaching, one of the things I really did and went into was powerlifting. Nung time niya, wala pang raw powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
Ano pa kami noon, naka-squat suit, bench press shirt. That's the kind of powerlifting I grew up into. That was way back, mga 2008, 2009. And then after achieving the things I wanted to achieve in powerlifting, nanalo ako ng a couple of golds, nag-set ako ng mga ibang personal records ko. Sabi ko, okay, the things I learned here, strength-wise, I think a lot of people can benefit from. The character that strength building has helped me build with myself. The ability to go through challenges thinking na, okay, I can go do anything because I know I'm strong enough to do this. That's what I did that was what I wanted to have when I went to coaching. Sabi ko, a lot of people can really prevail in whatever they want to do in their lives if they're fit enough. I always tell my clients, your success in life will always be determined lang by how far your body will bring you. From the day you were born to the day that you die, kahit ano pang mangyari sa buhay mo, kahit ano pa dahil maging pera mo, kasama mo lang katawan mo. And the more you take care of your body, the more to serve you well. And part of that is really getting stronger. Yan ang philosophy ko. If you're stronger, everything becomes easier. Yan ang paniniwala ko talaga dyan.
Actually, coach, nakita ko yung anong time na nag-stock ako, coach, so may konting bago pumunta dito. So talagang may dala ko napapansin kay Coach 8. Pag i-check niyo yung IG niya, nandyan yun nga, if you're stronger, life gets easier. Pangalawa, kapag may sa mga captions ni Coach A, may kita niyo lagi, in strength.
In strength.
So I think ako, ngayon ko na-discover, ano yung underlying meaning, bakit in strength. Laging gamit na gamit ni Coach A yung in strength. Kasi ako, I agree naman na talagang, kapag malakas katawan mo, there's more, you have the capacity to experience other meanings of life na parang madaling umoo sa mga bagay na magpapasaya sa'yo kapag malakas yung katawan mo. Kaya, pag tinignan yung IG ni Coach A, intact talaga yung how he speaks and how he coach his lines. Kasi, guys, yung studio na to, hindi siya basta-basta pasok ka lang to train. So later on, I'll allow Coach A to really tell you guys what it's like to train here in yung Rise Up Fitness Studio. Yun yung pangalan ni Coach A sa studio niya, Rise Up Studio. By the way, Coach, yung isa rin sa gusto ko itanong sa'yo kasi most Filipino fitness trainers dito sa Philippines, unang dahilan bakit nila ginawa is passionate sila. Ang worry ko naman dyan, sa sobrang passion, nakalimutan nila na it's still business.
Yes.
And ang pinakayo ko nakikita dyan is they lowball themselves. Babaan yung presyo para lang magawa nila yung passion na may makoach silang tao. Ano masasabi mo doon?
Nakikita ko yan lagi. Sometimes kasi, I scroll over mga Facebook groups. So makikita mo doon, nasa talagang, it's like, parang piyesta ng offers. 300, ganyan. Tapos, they all offer the same thing. Ito yung script nila lagi. Customized programming, one-on-one ganyan, tapos nutrition plan, peaking, mass body composition.
Chat support.
Mga ganon. 24/7 chat support. Para naman pwede naman 24/7 talaga, di ba?
Hindi ka natutulog.
Tsaka parang, na-realize ko kasi, a lot of coaches go into, like what you mentioned, a lot of coaches go into fitness with the idea that I will serve, as long as I serve fitness, I serve the product of fitness, maging successful ako rito. In my case, when I went into coaching, kasi graduate ako ng entrepreneurship, that's my bachelor's degree. At that time, noong 2010, sabi ko, shit, hindi to pwede na, wala pupunta sa Aaron de la Cruz Gym. Wala kang may kilala sa akin eh. So you gotta think of branding, you gotta think of positioning. And at that time, I wasn't even that confident with my own branding kasi gagawa pa ako eh. So what I did at the time, I started coaching CrossFit. That was 2011. I was one of the first CrossFit coaches here in the Philippines and I worked at CrossFit MNL. And even during that time, my idea was, when you make yourself to become a personal trainer, you gotta find a way to brand yourself. And from there, I never stopped. I built my gyms 2012. My first CrossFit gym was 2012. My last CrossFit gym that I built was around na-close siya 2017, 2018. At that time kasi, umalis na ako sa pag-own ng gym. Marami akong pinagdaanan when it comes to my life, when it comes to my personal journey, na nag-stop sa akin to owning gyms. But at the same time, the desire to coach people was always there. And the desire to make money out of fitness was always there. Kasi at the end of the day, ito din nakikita ng most coaches. Kapag walang laman pera, walang laman bulsa mo, titigil ka. And at the end, tapos mangyayari niyan, hahabulin mo yung pinaka madaling paraan para kumita. Yung scarcity mindset ang umiiral kumpara sa abundance. Tayo sa fitness, ang goal mo nga is to build people eh. Kung ikaw kulang ka, paano ka magkakaroon ng abundance sa mga tao? And I think that's what's lacking here when it comes to fitness. Finding your own niche, create your own personal branding, learn to talk about fitness and not just talk about kung ano nakikita mong uso sa social media. And take a stand. Yan nakikita ko, kung ano lang gusto sabihin eh. Ngayon, uso high rocks. So everybody's jumping to high rocks. Andyan yung tipo na uso bodybuilding din. Pero what do you stand for? Kasi fitness is a broad industry. We can have our own spaces. Ang daming kliyente. Ang problema, hindi alam ng kliyente kung kanino pupunta.
Yes.
And everybody gets jaded with their own experiences. Ako, experience dito, mga kliyente ko rito. They always go to me having the same story. I had a coach before, di niya ako inalagaan. And a lot of Filipinos have that experience. Ang baba ng quality na nakukuha nila sa coaching. And why is that happening? Because coaches are not equipped to get themselves out of scarcity mindset. So bibigay lang nila kung anong pwedeng mabigay para lang makakuha ng pera. So after nila makakuha ng pera, mangyayari dyan, tuloy-tuloy lang. Ganun lang po ulit-ulit yung negosyo. Walang nawawala yung, nagsimula silang with passion about fitness, napapalitan ng parang, basta lang magkaroon ako ng pera kahit magkano para mabuhay. Which is, I think, dapat hindi ganon. Kasi tayo dito, we're here to grow people. In the process, we have to take care of ourselves as well. That part of deep self-love na kailangan ko alagayin sarili ko so that I can take care of others as well. Sorry, daldal ko
Okay lang po. Sobrang dami ko natututunan din. Tsaka marami tayong pwedeng mapulot yung mga audience doon. Kasi tama ka doon, Coach. That's the thing, or that's one of the reasons why I think gusto ko rin mag-podcast with it. It's because I think we're aligned. Dahil sabi ko sa mga estudyante ko na lang sa PUP, kasi diba, State University.
Oh.
So, you know the context of people there, lalo sa PUP, na important at least meron na kaysa yung wala. Yung gano'n.
Oh.
Medyo nakakatakot yung gano'ng mindset.
Kasi madali bumagsak pa tuloy-tuloy yun eh.
Tuloy-tuloy na di ba? So, ako,
parang lahat tayo, daming coaches, takot tanggapin na gusto ko umasenso. Parang hindi ko lang bakit ganun. Hindi. In fact, totoo lang, pare, I'll just be clear. Ba't ko binuo tong fitness studio ko? I have 3 goals. 3 specific goals. 1, I want to prove there's money in fitness. There is money in fitness. I want to prove coaches can earn.
Yeah.
Kaya binuo ko ito mas malaki para I want to mentor other coaches so that they can learn how to earn for themselves. Hindi ko na mag-coach lahat ng tao eh. Hindi mo rin mag-coach lahat ng tao. Pero kapag dumami yung mga taong katulad natin who are coaching ethically, who are there to create abundance for themselves and for other people, magiging mas maayos to eh. Lastly, one thing I want to prove. I want to democratize fitness information. When I promote my fitness information, I'm not there to earn as a content creator. I'm not there to get sponsorships. I'm here to educate. I'm here to share what I know so that other people na hindi ko na mako-coach, kahit hindi ko sila matanggap dito sa studio kasi I can't afford to have everyone here, I can at least teach them how to take care of themselves. Yun yung parang way ko of giving back. Yan yung purpose ko ba't ko binuild tong studio. Yan yung purpose ko ba't ako nagko-content creation.
Actually, yun nga eh. Kasi yung iba ngayon, parang inisip nila, pag content creator ka na, parang ang daling pumasok ng pera. Parang kikita naman to sa pag-content creation. Kasi ako, Coach, personal experience, kahit sabi natin na ma-monetize ko yung Facebook page ko, tingi-tingi lang yan. Hindi ko pa kaya bumuli ng 5 pounds na whey protein sa kinikita sa...
Nag-message nga sa Facebook eh. Oh, put your tax para makuha mo na yung in-earn mo. Alam mo, in-earn ko 500 pesos. Diyos ko po, dahil video sa iyo, 500 pesos.
Sa akin rin, nung time na sabi ko kay Sir Wisdom, kasi medyo malaki yung isang video na $3. Sabi ko, Sir Wisdom, papadala ko na po dyan. May nag-send po yun eh. So, ganun na yung kinikita. Kaya talagang ako, sinasabi ko lalo sa mga students ko yung mga sports science, parang kung may something valuable kang pwedeng magbago ng buhay ng isang tao, it deserves to be prized. It deserves to be valued. Wala pa sa mga presyo nun. Basta kapag binalue or may binigay sa in return, like money, deliver.
Oo. Tsaka parang nangyayari, there are a lot of coaches fear rejection. Thinking, if I price myself this way, walang kukuha, tapos mangyayari, wala na akong kliyente. Hindi. Yung presyo mo, magantay ka lang, gawin mo magaling sarili mo, may magbabayad dyan.
Totoo. Ako naniniwala, kung clear yung branding.
Oo, clear ka. At ano yung servisyo mo, di ba? And yung service kasi, I think this is just me. I don't know how others do it. I think the disconnect there is that they think fitness is just you on the floor coaching people. It's like an 1-hour coaching and that's it. No. If you coach someone in fitness, if you're really there to help that person grow and also change their lives, you coach outside. There's support, there's accountability, you talk to them, you create rapport, para kapag each month, di ka na manghuhula, uy, magre-renew ba itong kliyente ko? Hindi, magre-renew sila. Kasi inaalagaan mo sila.
Inalagaan mo sila. Kasi hindi nila nakikita yung sa ibang coach eh. At saka yun pa yung isang gusto ko i-point out, coach, na sinasabi mo na, kasi kailangan mo talaga mag-over-deliver. Kasi I think gusto rin ng mga clients, based on my experience, na makita yung energy mo as a coach. So kung lethargic yung energy mo, baka ganun din yung reciprocate na.
Oo. Tsaka ito, may nauuso ngayon na parang 3-4 clients in 1 hour.
Nako.
People pay a premium for
Aswang
that eh.
naman yung
Oo, di binayad nila. Grabe naman. I mean,
Hirap yun.
kanya-kanyang business practices yan. But that's something that I don't adhere to. Here, that's why I'm training AI to become a coach and eventually become certified, because I want each person to have a best experience when they're on the floor. And outside of the floor, when they're on their lives, we're the ones trying to make sure they become accountable to what they want to achieve.
Kasi dapat yung yung kung ano yung sinign up ng client, yun yung makuha nila eh.
Oo.
Kaya gulantang sila na parang I paid like 1,000 pesos for 1 month. Then may kasama ako sa isang klase.
At tapos ang nangyayari dyan, it becomes habulan ng sessions. Like, kunyari, I have a client before. He signed up for 60 sessions in one gym. I won't mention the gym. He signed up 60 sessions. Tapos, after signing up for 60 sessions with a coach, after 2 sessions, nalipat yung coach. So parang may 58 sessions pa ako. Eh yung pumalit na coach, walang alam sa kanya, walang background, nangyari, nag-uubusan. Like 6 times sila per week. Parang maubos sila. 6 times a week, para lang maubos yung session. Para ako, these people paid good money. Di ba? It's the service. It's the service, the love.
Pinapulot kung saan lang yung pera na binaba.
Oo, and whether mayaman o hindi, that's not the point. The point is, whether that person is just a middle-income person or someone really wealthy, doesn't matter, the service is the same.
Kung ano yung binayad nila, that magulat din sila na
this is what I get.
This is what I get. Pero sa akin, ang mindset ko, pag nagbayad ng ganito, sisiguro din sa kanila na, ganito lang ba talaga kababa yung bayad? Hindi ko naman sinasabing mababa yung singil ko, but it's more of like, I really shock my clients na may nagtag na sana, isang client mo mayaman, kaya biniro ako, sabi niya sa akin. Tinag niya doon sa story niya na, when you paid for a coach and the coach actually coach. So, parang yung emoji, yung meme is parang gulat na gulat siya na, is this real? Sabi ko, malaki ng biniro mo sa akin. So I think, kailangan bigyan mo service. So medyo natapaw dun sa pero compliment yun. Okay, so akala mo talaga ibang coach, tama, na pepera ka lang. Hindi ako yun. Iba yung, marami yung kilalang tao na hindi ganyan. Ayan, si coach. Tapos coach, eto, sa akin, personal question ko rin to. If you will be someone's coach, or kunyari ikaw, magiging coach kita, paano yung coaching style mo?
Nag-evolve na ako through the years eh. When I started, hardcore talaga ako. As in hardcore, as in pwede, parang ito tayo. Kasi I used to train a lot of athletes when I started. I've had my stints in PSC before. In fact, kakatapos nga lang nung contract ko with underwater hockey, women's team. I was their coach for a few years. Kaya, 2 months ago lang natapos. So, I've always liked coaching athletes. Kasi atleta rin ako eh. So that was my mindset when I started. And it worked for a while. But people have different lives. And through the years, as I evolved myself as a man, I've improved myself as a man, I've changed a lot. Doon din nag-change yung coaching practice ko. Nag-change in a way that I became more supportive. If someone asks me kung paano ako bilang coach, I think the first thing you'd mention is, nakakatakot ako. Yun pa rin. Pero the way I approach it, I'm very, how do I say it? I want you to realize you are the number one most capable of creating change for yourself. I'm here to become your guide, to become someone who will help you reach your goal, but at the end of the day, ikaw yung bida rito. And that's what I want clients to believe in themselves. You are the captain of your ship, you are capable of creating change. I'm the one who's going to be creating, removing yung mga debris, yung mga tipong blockages, confusion, mga misinformation. I will make it so simple for you. All you gotta do is act and learn how your body will become the best version of itself. Ganun lagi yung approach ko. Kung I would say, ganun yung masasabi ng, yan yung I would describe myself as a coach. I always seek the best for my clients, even before they know it themselves. In fact, I have 3 clients. What I'm making them do, this might be very controversial. Sabi ko, I have 3 clients, all of them have the same situation. Very, kumbaga their stress is so high. I call allostatic load, yung load ng katawan na sobrang taas na. Sabi ko, ang goal ko lang sa inyo, ito lang. Tapusin mo yung trabaho mo maaga, turn off your phone, sleep, don't go back to work. When you wake up, check your resting heart rate and walk. Yun lang. Because that's what they need at that time. And that's coaching already. And sabi ko, if you feel good, go do your training. If you don't feel bad that you're not. Because at the end of the day, if your stress is this high, whatever we add there, you will implode. And we will just go back to square one, not solving anything. And that's what coaching is all about. You are always solving problems. Don't be dogmatic na iisa lang yung nakikita mo, exercise, training. Hindi gagaling sa lahat ng tao. Every person has a different set of lives. They have different set of life parameters. They have different set of values. They have different set of responsibilities. So you have to adhere to what they need and create a plan that is beneficial for them all the time.
So Coach, based doon sa pagkakaintindi ko, na parang dati, it's more of like you impose this method.
Oo, kailang.
You think that...
Kasi strength
Yun yung work, diba? Tsaka talagang parang, kumbaga parang no pain, no gain, go hard, go home diet. Tapos ngayon parang knowing na you evolve into someone who is more a supportive coach. So, sa pagkakaintindi ko, Coach, and I can relate, is yung pag-supportive coach ka, it's more of like you're revolving your method sa kung anong klaseng tao yung kina-coach mo.
Yes.
So, this leads me to a question, Coach, na paano mo ngayon binabalance yung, for example, ito yung gusto ng client, pero alam mong hindi yun yung best method. Tapos alam mo, pinapasok yung kailangan yung gawin. Pero ako naniniwala ako.
Strict ako dyan, pare.
Ako naniniwala ako, Coach, na you tell them what they needed to hear.
Dyan lang siguro di ako nagbago. Hardcore pa rin ako dyan. I will never tell you, if you want is what you don't, kaya let me rephrase that. If what you want is what you don't need, if you don't need what you want, di ko bibigay yan. No matter how much you want to work out, if you don't need it, hindi yan gagana. Just do what you need first. And then from there, let's get what you want. My clients, most of my clients are type A personalities. They are business owners, high-end people. Really, kumbaga para movers and shakers of this country. They are that level. And most of these guys are all, kumbaga parang, they're all used to just getting what they want. And I tell them this all the time. In fitness, whatever you do in your life, with your work, relationship, whatever, that's not gonna work in fitness. Kasi your body will always just follow what it needs. It doesn't necessarily follow what you want. Your brain might want to work out, but if your body doesn't need to work out, it will not work out, and it shouldn't work out. So I tell them all the time, this is what you need. But if you want this, you have to do this first. And eventually you get that. Then ako medyo strict talaga.
Compromise mo, pero yun yung stick to the plan muna.
Tsaka, Coach, not just stick to the plan, it's more of parang, you have to understand what you want doesn't necessarily what you need right now. Other people are a lot of people ask me, but why am I working out less? And that's what you need. You don't need more. I try to explain them theories about overreaching and overtraining. And sabi ko, yung literature kasi ng training, ito siya sabi nila, train 3 to 4 times a week, ganyan, etc. We know that. I know that. You know that. But that's conceptually coming from a person who doesn't have high stress levels. So the way I look at it, a lot of clients are already high-strung people. What they don't need to add more to that stress, so that will make them implode. So you find a way to lower down the stress, then we can add.
Kumbaga parang maging bearable muna sa kanila yung task. Bigla.
Sabi ko nga, ako kung tatanungin mo, gusto ko mag-workout tayo lagi. Ganun ako eh. Pero I'm also Pero hindi nyo kailangan mo eh. Doon tayo sa kung ano kailangan mo.
Totoo. Natandaan ko rin, coach, ma-share ko lang. Meron isang naging client na nasa LGBTQ siya.
Okay.
Gay.
Oo.
Tapos, may trauma siya sa pag-gym kasi natutukso siya ng mga tito niya noon before.
Grabe, no? Yung mga experiences, no?
Tapos talagang sabi niya, gusto niya pumayat. At the same time, takot naman siya mag-gym. Sabi ko naman sa kanya is, hindi kita matatanggap kung hindi ka mag-gym is because yun yung kailangan mo talagang gawin. Tapos pangalawa, kung sa bahay-bahay lang, talagang mahirapan tayo, hindi mo masusulit yung bahay.
Yes.
Sabi niya, coach, gusto ko magmatapang. Talagang coach, pagdating niya sa gym, wala nang ginawa. Nagsumuka sa loob na siya kasi lalaki daw.
Ganun talaga.
Alam mo, kahit badit siya.
Grabe.
Coach, natakot.
Grabe. Oh.
Sabi ko, eto gawin natin. 1 time a week ka lang per week mag-exercise.
Right? Di ba yun yung kailangan niya eh?
Tapos 1 set per exercise, 5 exercise, uwi ka na.
Oh.
Siyang nag-signal sa akin, coach, ready na ako. Kahit try.
Diba?
Okay, sige, signal.
Right?
Diba? So talagang titignan mo din kung nasaan si client. Hindi pwedeng hahatakin mo lang kung saan mo lang siya
Sabi ko nga eh, parang in coaching, the worst trait you can have is be dogmatic. Hindi po ito lang. Bodybuilding lang ako. Weightlifting lang ako. Powerlifting lang ako. Hindi pwede. The interest of the client is important. Interest in terms of what do they need, what do they want, what are their real desires, and then try to adjust your method of coaching so that they get what they need, you help them get their desires, and then happy tayo lahat.
May data ka para malaman kung nasaan na siya.
Oo, tsaka besides data, constant communication. And daming nagkukwento sa akin, the experience, especially online coaches. They give a program, after giving a program, wala na.
Yan.
Daming ganyan. Parang ko, kasi coaching doon, doon ko sabihin mo ito ay sarili mo, coach. Programmer ka na lang. Wala kang problema doon eh. Diba? Excel programmer ako.
yan actually yung inalisan ko agad na style of coaching. Kasi dati, may mga kaibigan ko lang sabi, coach, bigyan mo program, ako nang bahala. Siguro may idea na sila na kapag gano'n yung hiningi mo, mura lang yung kailangan mo ibayad. Kaya sabi ko, sige, pwede nga gawa ng program. Ginawa ko sila ng program. Pero ako na mismo nagtigil na parang, unang-una, siguro ako, hindi naman naghahabol ng social proof, pero gusto kong makita kung kamusta sila or may yung outcome. Wala ko na akong outcome sa ganong klaseng coaching. Tinigil ko na yun. Pag tinatanong nila
At tawag dyan, para lang mo integrity. Yung integrity mo bilang isang coach, sobrang taas. Hindi ka programmer.
Hindi tayo programmer,
di ba? Tapos alam mo pare, yung mga ganong coaches, sila yung matatakot kapag ganyan ng AI.
Yun. Kasi madali sila marere-resist. Ang dali naman.
Sorry, dire-diretso.
Okay lang. Nako, ang totoo lang, yun yung importansya na dapat marunong may pag-communicate yung coach, guys. Kasi number 1, pwedeng robot na yung magbigay ng training.
Ngayon pa lang, di ba? Lalo kung marunong ka magtanong sa AI, mabibigay sa kailangan mo.
Kaya niya ibigay lahat. Kaya talagang bumabalik tayo sa sino yung pwedeng magbigay ng method na very human yung...
Don't get me wrong, I use AI. I type in ChatGPT and I ask, I have this client, this is her situation. What are the medical implications? I ask information to help me coach. Not do the coaching for me. Para malaman ko anong pwedeng gawin. Tsaka niya, let's say, I'm making this client train once a week lang. And my guess is because it's what's happening to him. And it's my, what's the research about my intentions? Tatanungin ko so that you get more information. Para lang, meron kang parang nafe-feel na tama yung ginagawa mo. Hindi yung tipong, uy, kailangan ko ng program.
Tsaka yung speedy decision, kailangan din talaga.
Yes. Kung hindi, may time ba tayo lahat magbasa ng medpub, di ba? Wala, di ba? Lagi ka mo makapagbasa ng gano'n.
Ako, coach, ako din. Gumagamit din ng AI. Luckily, meron ng kapatid na nutritionist. So ako, mag-create ako ng meal plan. Sasabihin ko sa kapatid ko, ito yung prescribe ko. Pwede bang basahin mo bago ko ibigay? Pero pag wala siyang oras, lalagay kong ganun sa disclaimer na hindi mo kailangan sundan to. May pambayad ka ng R&D, siya kausapin mo.
Ako ganyan, I don't give nutrition. I don't give nutrition. My goal is, I change your behavior. Kaya nga sabi ko, I want clients to learn how to eat better. Sobrang skewed na ng fitness industry. Hindi ko na nga ang hirap na malaman kung anong idea ng tao about diet.
Yeah.
Andyan na yung tipong, IF ako, keto. Wala na nga masyadong keto ngayon.
Wala na.
Uso yan, carnivore.
Mukhang na-outgrow na nila.
Diba? Daming klaseng eating. Pero people forget, eating is a skill. It's behavior, it's practice, it's learning mindfulness, it's taking the time to sit with your feelings and say, what do I want to eat and what do I need to eat? Meron dyan I call it fun foods, fun meals, and also responsible adult meals. So you fix responsible adult meals, put your adult head and your brain and isip, ano bang kailangan ng katawan ko? And then from there, I can enjoy fun and Ganun lagi balance And I count macros. I do my calorie counting. And because that's what I need. But not everyone needs that.
Yeah.
So you try to make them learn the skill of eating better. Have the ability to take time in assessing what do I need and what do I feel? What do I feel like eating? And then from there, we don't need meal plans. A lot of people don't need meal plans. A lot of people don't even need specific macros. A lot of people, what they need to learn to eat better.
Yeah. Kumbaga parang rule of thumb nila na kaya nung sinabi mo na Coach bago tayo magsimula, nasa isang kasal ka or
kanina, di ba?
Nagpakain bigla, wala kang maglalabas ng baon.
Maglalabas ka ba ng weighing scale doon? Tapos, macros. Diyos ko.
Pero iba kasi, di ba, parang may spectrum ng fitness na kung gusto mo, may parang minsan magigilty ka, mali pa ginagawa ko? Or tama lang ba itong sa sitwasyon, sa konteksto ko na Kaya nga ako,
ang best answer dyan lagi, it depends.
It depends.
It depends What's your goal? Do you really want to have an 8% body fat percentage, for example? Or do you want to have, let's say, you want to compete in bodybuilding? Wala. No negotiations. Kailangan kumain ka this way. If you want to, let's say, eat for health, and diabetic ka na, you have to eat a certain way. Dahil mo na kinain ng mali O di eat a certain way. But if you're just there to lose weight, lose fat, there's better ways and just be strict about it.
More of yung trade-offs Dapat alam nila yung trade-offs ng mga goal na gusto nila bodybuilding yun wala, dala ka.
It's up to you. What do you desire? Ano mo gusto mo?
Dapat tatanggap mo yung trade-off. Tapos Coach, I just want to expand more yung tagline na nakikita ko lagi sa'yo na coaching fitness better.
Coaching fitness better. Paano ba explain yan? Fitness kasi is a broad spectrum. It's like, let's say, isang spectrum na parang body acceptance all around and anything goes. Other spectrum, meron dyan tipong kung if it's not my way, no highway, whatever. So parang dyan lagi. So for me, the best way to go about it is in the middle. And there's creating nuance, creating iterations, and also always adjusting the plan. And because if you think about it, your fitness, your body is the only thing you'll have in your whole life. And if you go through life just being strict, putyan lang ko ang buhay na yun, di ba? How will your fitness serve you if ang approach mo all strict and extreme? Kung ano rin naman sa kabila, tipong body acceptance, kahit ano pwede, you will live a short life. So my idea of coaching fitness better is coaching fitness, what the client needs, what the audience need, in accordance and in line to what you desire. Doon tayo mag-uusap lagi.
Tsaka yun doon mo gagamit yung expertise mo, like how you're going to lead them there to their desires.
Yes.
Na doing the better actions or the better habits nga, diba? Doon papasok experts.
Kasi diba, for example, when you talk to a client, what do they say usually? Ano yung una nila sinasabi sa'yo? What do they want? Ano sinasabi sa'yo?
Gusto pa yan.
Right, like ganyan. Pwede sa akin yung ganito na lang. Gusto ko yung pwede na sa akin. Yung ganun lang. Okay na ako sa ganito. Ganyan. But if you probe them better and you really ask the hard question, ano ba talaga gusto mo? What is the feeling you want to achieve? That's why you're here working with me. And you go deeper and deeper. You cut through the bullshit, and they eventually give you what they really desire. You'll be surprised how deep their desires are. I have one client. Kahit sa kanya, ano gusto mo? Sabi niya, hindi, ano lang ako, gusto lang ako, ganito, ganito. Hindi, ano bang gusto mo? Sabi ko, Coach, gusto ko talaga makita kahit isang beses sa buhay ko, sobrang ganda ng katawan ko. Hindi, natrabahuin natin. Ano ba tayo, papaliwiliw pa tayo?
At saka dinidiscount nila yung pwede lang ma-achieve.
Oo, kasi
Takot mag-fail.
I think more than takot ma-fail, there's always shame of wanting more with your body. And as coaches, a lot of coaches have this scarcity mindset. A lot of clients have shame in wanting more. They feel like parang, hindi, dapat pang ano lang yan, pang atleta lang yung ganyang klaseng katawan eh. Yung ganyang lakas, pang ano lang, special person lang yan eh. The thing is, we may or may not achieve what you desire. But the thing is, you wanting that is more than enough for us to plan something close to that. Kasi ano pang silbi ng buhay if we're not getting the things we want, di ba?
Tsaka may evolution along the way.
Of course.
Gusto mo
Oo. Tsaka you grow with that person, di ba?
Oo. Kasi ako, isa sa mga joy ko sa client is yung, meron sa client from Canada na talagang binge eater talaga siya. Tapos umuwi dito na parang sabi ko, di kita papakialaman bakasyon mo. Tapos parang binalita niya sa akin, Coach, kung akala mo, ako nung pinagkakain ko dito. Coach, hindi na ako tulad nung dati. Sabi ko, ano, what do you mean dito na dati? Coach, sinusundan ko lang yung mga naturo mo sa akin na tanongin ko yung sarili ko, kailangan ko ba kainin na madami to? Ito ba yung gusto ko? Kailangan ko ba agad makain tong bagay?
Galing, no?
Tapos nung gulat ako, sabi ko ganun. Yan yung gusto kong makuha, more than the transformation. Kasi pumayat din.
Yes.
Pero yung the fact na they can go independently, na hindi mo sila pinapakialaman, pero sila, hinahayaan nila yung presensya mo sa coach na nasa utak. I think that's a win.
Oh, of course.
Diba?
Of course. Kasi, pare, di lahat ng kliyente mag-stay sa atin forever. So, ano yan, pagkatapos sa engagement, wala na? Di ba? Ano yung impact mo sa taong yun? Yun yung nangyayari dyan.
Yun yung magandang takeaway
Yes.
before and after.
Oh, di, tsaka, hindi pong kapag nagtrabaho lang tayo, doon lang may mangyayari sa atin.
Tsaka yung parang doon mo na siya mapapagmalaki. Kasi may ibang client din, coach, na I think yung ayaw magpa-post. Pero ang dami yung wins na pwedeng ipagmalaki. Diba?
Pero kasi, ako I rarely post before and after pictures. Why? Because that's not my win eh. That's a client's win. It wasn't about my method.
Yeah.
It's about me coaching that person to become their best version.
Ikaw yan.
Siya lang ang bida.
Ikaw yan.
Tagagawa lang ako nung pwede niyang gawin.
Ikaw yan.
Tsaka tagasabi lang ko, ay wag yan.
Kaya hindi ko namimilit na parang, for example, yung my coaching yung progress ko, parang ganyan. Hindi ko in-open na gusto mo ba i-post natin? Or ikaw na ba? Parang kahit wag mo ko itag, walang problema sa akin yun eh. Kasi ako din coach, isa sa mga parang nagiging siguro yung advocacy ngayon na kung paano kung gusto mag-evolve yung fitness industry sa Philippines is yung hindi mo kailangan maghubad para makita.
Dati rin na ganyan din ako, nag-ubad-ubad din ako.
Ako rin.
Tapos, pucha. Bukod doon, parang dahil ko indecent proposal. Grabe. Dami-daming message. Parang ako, titibo na itong mga taon to, ha? Hindi lang lalaki, ha? Babae, parang ako,
Totoo. Actually, hindi naman sa, hindi ako naiirita sa ganun. But it's more of like, maliban sa ayoko na rin ng mga ganun, is, yun nga, parang naumay na sa sarili ko na, maghubad na naman talaga pwede kong para patunayan sa sarili ko na fit ako. Kaya sabi ko sa mga nag-evolve din yung bili ko sa fitness na parang, I think fitness is a behavior. Pag inoff natin yung ilaw, tas nandun lahat ng kaibigan, maaalala mo kung sino yung fit. Kasi kahit hindi mo sila nakikita, alam mo paano nila
yes.
how they live their life.
That's true.
Alam mo nag-workout yun, alam mo nag-ano yan. Kaya sabi ko, I think fitness is a behavior. Kaya pag magpatay ng ilaw dito, kilala mo kung sino yung alam mo nasa loob ng tao.
Nag-post na lang ako ng progress pics ko kasi last year I wanted to join a bodybuilding competition. I was close to it, kaya lang
coach, shred kayo na.
Wala, hirap eh. Hirapan ako eh. Hirapan talaga ako na makapag-compete, yung oras talaga sa coaching. But at some point, just to get myself out there, I think at some point I'll try. Kasi lahat nagawa ko na eh. Nag-weightlifting ako, yung snatch and clean and jerk. Nag-strongman ako, tagal ko nag-strongman. Nag-powerlifting ako, last year pa, huli kong laban. Dapat nga laban ako this year, kaya na-injury ako. Nag-crossfit ako na matagal. So parang, I think, bodybuilding is the only thing I haven't competed in. So I wanna try. Pero syempre, in bodybuilding kasi very subjective. So it's a different animal on its own. And I think of all the sports I have done, it is the most time-consuming. Time-consuming siya in a sense na your dedication, is always on point. It thrives on precision. Hindi siya pwede ng tipong warde-warde lang. Kung gusto mo mag-compete lang for the sake of competing, why not? But if you have this high level of aspiration, dapat precise ka.
Hindi pwede.
Oo.
Tsaka there's a lot of things that has to sit out kapag
Oo.
yun yung sabi nga nila, mas mahirap daw yun eh. Tanggap mo ba na for the midtime hindi ka kasama sa mga labas ng kaibigan mo? Sa akin nung sinasabi bodybuilding, hindi ako willing mag-bodybuilding. I mean, I respect those bodybuilders pero hindi ako willing pagdaanan yung struggle. Ibang struggle gusto kong pagdaanan.
Last year, na-experience ko, 1,000 calories bigay sa akin ng coach ko. Ang coach ko magaling eh. Bigyan niya 1,000 calories. Pucha, 4 na buwan ng 1,000 calories. To the point, parang robot to. Parang robot. Pero you got what you want. And I was able to get through that. And I realized this needs a lot of precision. So if I'm gonna go back and compete, if I'm gonna try to do it ng talaga maayos na negosyo ko. Hindi na ako tipo nandito lagi, yung mga ganong klaseng bagay.
Yung mga noises kasi yung isa sa mga pwedeng maging hindrance bakit para
At saka yung fatigue. Yung fatigue.
Diba? Yung brain fog daw nila.
Oo, pag nagpipik ka na.
Daw talaga.
Oo. Tsaka yung tipong you gotta practice posing all the time.
Oh, hindi ko pa ma-imagine. Lalo na ngayon natutuwa mag-tennis dahil
Oo, atleta ka.
sa partner.
Kumusta pala yun with your knee and everything?
Yung isa Nico coach, ano siya, plan ko hopefully magpa-opera this December.
Okay.
Pero ngayon, ang ginagawa ko ngayon is number 1, binabalik ko yung motor skills, confidence. Kasi
How did it happen pala? Sorry.
sa basketball siya. October 2024, talagang basketball talaga ako. Contact sport.
Last year lang.
Last year lang.
Okay.
1 year na itong October.
Okay.
Tapos doon napuruhan. Sa akin, sobrang devastated ako nun dahil sabi ko ganun, magka-cut muna ako for general health lang. Kasi nabibigatan lang sa sarili ko. Sabi ng kaibigan ko, bro, sali ka naman sa first time na organize ng liga ko. Nag-organize siya ng liga. Sabi ko, laro ka playing coach ka. O sige, doon pa ako nadali on the 4th game.
Oh my God.
May pagka-identity loss. Sabi ko, ang dami akong kaibigan na niyayaw mag-basketball kasi kilala nila ako sa ganung sport. Maliban sa pag-coaching at saka online. Tapos biglang di ko magawa. So, nagkaroon ako ng sport table, ng tennis. Biglang yung fiancé ko rin is tawag doon, nagte-tennis. So, sabi ko, gusto ko mag-hitting partner niya. Nag-aaral ako ng tennis. Sabi ko, nung na-enjoy ko ng tennis, may nagtanong, Coach, try mo na mag-bodybuilding. No. Tennis ako. Hindi ako willing maging lutang sa tennis para sa bodybuilding. Baka maybe in the future. But hopefully, Coach, makapag-pa-opera ako. Pero ang naisip ko pa rin talaga pag na-operan ako, mukhang focus ako sa tennis.
Talaga.
Medyo takot na ako sa contact eh.
Sa basketball.
Kung dati mahilig ako sa contact, medyo ayoko na. So, yeah, accepting the trade-off na hindi na ako magiging competitive basketball player. Yun yung kailangan ko embrace. So, gusto ko naman gumaling.
Pero di ba ang tennis din, the way I imagine it, medyo shearing din siya sa knee, di ba?
Actually, ganun pa rin. Yung kunya internal tension, yung load, kasi syempre binubuhat mo yung sarili mo.
Yes.
Ang maganda lang dun sa tennis is dahil hindi siya contact. Yung
Nakokontrol mo.
Makokontrol mo. Unlike ako, nag-try makipaglaro ulit sa isang pick-up game na medyo high level. Hindi ako ini-excuse eh. Babanggain talaga ako eh. Ako umiiwas na talaga. Tapos tatakasin, umiiwas ka. Hindi, putol yung mga litid ko dito eh. So ako, di ko naman enjoy yung basket. Walang contact. Hindi ko naman siya ma-enjoy ng super baba ng playing.
Tipong shooting lang.
Hindi ko na, sabi ko, tennis na lang. Ma-enjoy ko pa.
Where do you play? Do you play in clay? Sa
hardcourt ako naglalaro eh.
Hardcore.
Siya naglalaro. Pero yun, ngayon, hopefully, pagka na-operan, baka doon ang mag-focus. Bodybuilding, maybe siguro konting convince. But for now, gusto ko na gumaling sa tennis. Eto, Coach, may tanong ako sa'yo. I think, dito natatanong ng iba. Coach, ano sa tingin mo yung unpopular trait of a great fitness coach?
Unpopular trait of a great fitness coach.
Kasi di ba, paramihan ng client na na-transform, great coach na.
Siguro sa akin, yung being okay being disliked. Just as long as you stand by your principles.
Yeah.
And another trait na tingin ko is being okay being alone as your own practice. Medyo cliquish kasi ang fitness industry. Parang laging barkadahan.
Yeah.
Parang kailangan kasama ka ng crowd para meron kang
Identity.
oo, parang, uy, legit yan. Di ba? Kailangan para kasama ka sa mga ganito. Ako, my opinion, kapag ganun naman kasi, it's hard to stand out, number one. Number two, it's hard to have a stand on certain things that is not adhering to the group. And yun yung parang yan yung parang pinaka-feeling ko ang kailangan matutunan ng karamihan. Okay lang na may gusto sa'yo. At okay lang mag-isa ka. Kapag willing kang maging ganon and you're serving your clients, kasi yun naman yung trabaho mo, serve clients, serve the fitness industry, kapag naging okay ka nun, I think you're on the right path of becoming a better coach. Pero at the same time, you have your peers. You have people to talk to na parang, uy, tama ba itong ginagawa ko? Anong tingin mo dito? Pero you don't have to be affiliated with a certain group. And you don't have to agree about everything. Because you have your own mindset. You have your own principles, you have your own values, you have your own sets of clients. And if you're not ready to take a stand, if you're not ready to be alone, it's hard to grow in this industry.
Thrill-struck ni Coach yung term na mag-isa. Tsaka yung magkaroon ng sariling stand. Kasi, actually, yan din yung pinangawa ko as a fitness coach. Pag, yung ibang mga audience ko na parang, Coach, ba't di kami pag-collab dito? Coach, ba't di mo nakasama to? Unang sagot ko, okay kasi ako mag-isa.
Di ba?
Pangalawa, gusto ko alagaan yung associations ko. So, ako yun isa sa pinangawakan ko na dapat ma-associate ako sa mga taong hindi lang align sa akin, but it's more of like, basically, I like them. Na tipong...
Oh, thank you. You like me ba?
I like you. Hindi, kasi ko, for information na bago mag-content creation, if tama yung pagkakintanda ko, 2022 kasi nag-start ng unang video, then natuloy na 2023, medyo malayo yung gap. Pero Coach, kasi nakikita ko na kayo sa social media. Like, kunya, si Jacob, pinapanood ko yun ng pandemic eh. Pero written contents ginagawa ko nun eh. Hindi ako content creator nun eh. I just love writing nung time na yun. Hindi ko akalain na makaka-collab ko siya.
Talaga.
Si Coach Flex din, nakikita ko lang din naman siya ng pandemic. Tapos biglang ngayon, naghahanap kami ng topics na pwede pag-usapan. So, I think, yun nga yung sa akin, parang yun sa mga natutunan ko. Kailangan ko alagaan yung associations ko para maging clear din sa tao kung ano pwede nila makuha sa akin at kung ano yung hindi nila expect sa akin at kung ano yung possibly hindi nila magugustuhan sa akin. Pero isang kaibigan ko siya nagsabi na parang naramdaman ko yun nung pag-alis ng Ateneo.
Okay.
Kasi I have really a good, strong support system sa Ateneo, yung PE department.
Ilang years ka rin dun eh.
10 years, di ba? Tapos biglang magko-content creation ako where I started opening up or bringing up some topics na nabash ako. Sinabi, nung isang content ko, parang gumanda ng katawan, coach na agad. Pinipintasan ako sa
Talaga.
sa comment. Parang, sino ba itong sasalita ito? Pamator lang sa kanto. Sabi ng mga nakakilala sa akin, Coach, di kasi kinakita sa personal eh. Hindi nakalata na ginagawa. You're talking,
You walk the talk.
Sabi ko, hindi naman po importante sa akin. Tapos parang ako nakaramdam ako na, shit, hindi ako makapag-console agad-agad. Pero sabi ko, hindi, kailangan ko matrain yung sarili ko na i-console yung sarili. Kaya sabi ng isang kaibigan ko, bro, lone wolf ka eh. Sabi ko, shit. Bala ko magpatato ng lone wolf dito bigla. So, sabi ko, lone wolf na kaya mo mag-isa, pero alam mong malakas ka rin kapag may kasama. Kaya mo piliin yung Kaya ako sobrang agree ako doon sa sinabi mo na sometimes you have to learn to be alone. Para ma-protectan yung reputasyon na meron ka.
Tsaka bukod doon kasi, what I truly believe, people who are aligned with you will always side with you. Kung what you stand for is something of may integrity ka, honest ka, hindi ka nanloloko ng tao, you don't need to be with anyone. Because those who believe in you will always be there. Andyan yan. Whether you always talk to them or not, as long as you stand for something, people will follow.
Sobrang agree ako dyan, Coach. Kaya sabi ko, di ba? Sinabi ko sa inyo, marami kayong matututunan dito kay Coach A. So, basta pag-check yung mga content ni Coach A kasi hindi na talaga about fitness. It's about how you're going to make fitness more doable. It's because you're deep diving sa kung ano talagang totoong problema o dapat mong gawin. So, Coach, kilala mo si Alex Hormozi, di ba?
Oh, yes, Alex Hormozi.
I follow him. Sabi nga ni Alex Hormozi na parang hindi mo kailangan bagong plano. Hindi mo kailangan ng panibagong strategy. Ang kailangan mo lang gawin is alamin ano yung punot dulo, bakit di mo magawa yung simpleng bagay na dapat ginagawa mo matagal na.
Alex Hormozi started as a gym owner.
Oh, di ba?
Oo,
Medyo
oo,
nakarelate din ako sa
oo.
kanya na kaya lagi yung pinapakinggan si Alex Hormozi. Sige. Anyway, Coach, eto Coach, siguro tanong ko na rin sa'yo. I know you're someone who's really selective sa kung ano yung bibigyan mo na opinion or kung saan ka magre-respond. Siguro, ang tanong ko sa'yo, Coach, ano yung only issue sa fitness industry na kung saan talaga nagpantig talaga yung tenga mo?
Ako talaga yung consistent na, yung pangit talaga yung sessions. Hindi pong, let's say, nairita talaga ako sa mga coach, hindi marunong yung tipong, eto ka, hindi ka na nga coach sa labas ng sessions mo. Yung sessions mo pa, putyo-putyo pa. Putyo, paano pa yan? Di ba gusto mo bayaran ka na malaki? Yun talaga doon ako naiinis. Kasi exercise coaching, exercise instruction is, how do you say it? Ano yan entry-level coaching yan eh. Kahit sino kaya ituro yan eh. Manood ka lang sa YouTube makapagturo ng exercise coaching. Siyempre, iba na yung parang really technical understanding of coaching, pero that's very minimum eh. Kasi hindi mo pa magawa. Doon talaga ako busit na busit. May nakita akong video. Gawa pa siya ng reel niya. Tapos, yung tipong nagagayon yung babae, spot-spot siya. Tapos siya na rin bubuhat. Siya yung mag-shoulder press yung babae rin yung coaches. Sorry Siya rin yung bubuhat. Hawak ko yung kamay, ginagano rin niya. Parang hindi na coaching yan eh. Wala namang kuha yung kliyente mo dyan eh. Wala, doon ako busit na busit.
Kasi yun nga parang siguro Coach kung naparad yung kuha ko doon isa sa sinabi ng isang guest ko na parang sinabi niya na pag nagko-coach ka ng Pilipino ng fitness, marami niyang sinakripisyo kahit mayaman yan. Unang-una, gagastos siya ng energy, ng effort, ng pera.
Traffic.
Diba?
Oo.
Biglang putyo-putyo na ibibigay.
Oo. When I was in Hong Kong, nakita ko talaga yung difference, pare. People in Hong Kong are so fucking fit. Everybody walks, everybody have the capacity to pay, and everybody are really into fitness. And the people there are still very keen in learning things on their own. Kung gano'n nga ka-high level yung mga kliyente nandun sa Hong Kong, nandun sa Dubai, tapos dito pa sa atin na hindi naman gano'n ka-high level yung knowledge, ang karamihan ng fitness clients, tapos hindi mo matuturuan. Kung doon nga mataas na yung level, tuturo pa eh. Inaano pa yung mga technique kung paano nila matutunan na maayos yung fitness nila, yung training nila. Dito pa, na maraming kliyente dito are really scared of lifting weights. Tapos hindi mo maturuan ng maayos, yun na nga lang. Kung you had one job, teach how a person can perform their fitness session. Hindi mo pa magawa. Yun talaga, doon talaga ang busit na busit talaga.
Sa akin naman, Coach, yung I think yung, as much as nakamove na ako sa issue na to, pero hindi ko maiwasang hindi magkaroon ng reflection kapag, for example, may isang particular coach na sinisita siya sa pangangatawan niya.
Paano sinisita?
Like for example, di ba, eto lately nga, parang akala ko baon ng issue tungkol na naman sa magandang katawan ng coach.
Okay. I mean, abs.
Yung mga abs or rip. Very clear naman na you have to look like you train. Diba? Pero at the same time, hindi ko lang talaga ma-team na may ibang tao talaga may oras para mamansin ang katawan ng ibang. Like, what can you gain from like shaming or pointing out those people's tawag doon, pangangatawan? Sa akin naman is kapag hindi na maganda katawan mo, hindi mo pa binavalue client mo, sisitahin kita. Kung may rights akong sitahin. Pero if you're not hurting people and ginagawa mo yung duty mo sa coach at saka effective, I think spare mo na siya. Hindi mo magets bakit maraming tao na gusto nilang pansinin masyado yung
coach na mataba, ganyan. I think I saw that. That was a Singaporean coach, di ba?
Yeah, Singaporean coach.
That guy's a powerlifter. Malakas yung tao. He's not teaching someone how to lose fat. He's teaching someone powerlifting.
Diba?
If he needs that bulk to teach powerlifting, go do so. Kasi here's what I think people get disconnected. Sports coaching, tactical coaching for sports, very technical coaching for a sport is different from fitness coaching.
Yes.
Weightlifters, my coach is really big, but one of the best minds in weightlifting here in the Philippines. My coach in powerlifting, my first coach in powerlifting, sobrang bata, kahit matanda na. Do you discount my coach in weightlifting just because he's bigger? Eh, compete sa that weight class eh. Magaling siya magturo eh. Pumunta ako sa kanya. Yung coach ko na batak, nung nagsimula ako mag-powerlifting, eh, yun katawan niya eh. Wala akong magagawa. Hindi, walang mali sa kanila. Pero, if someone who's really big, like yung Singaporean na, yung medyo controversial yun, binalikan nila yun, tinihirapan nila yun. If that person is promoting, what you call this, fat loss, doon tayo magkakatalo. But if he's coaching powerlifting, eh yun yung sport na tinuturo niya, walang problema dyan. Tingin kasi nila kapag may nagko-coach, agad-agad, fat loss ka agad. Hindi dami-daming coaching eh. Di ba?
Yun yung sa akin eh, na parang, siguro, yung gusto ko rin baguhin na, hindi porket mag-fitness, pagandahan ng katawan yan. Maraming, kaya nga sabi ko, binanggit ko eh, yung body composition is just one of the 13 components. Marami tayong pwedeng tingnan. Pero ako, coach, highly agree. If you're gonna teach something, for example, yung fat loss, baka kailangan talaga may evidence ka na you know how to lose. Or may na-apply mo siya sa sarili. Clear naman talaga.
Di ba? At hindi kailangan ng six-pack ha. Is at the very least, hindi ka malaki. Or kung malaki ka man ngayon, may rason ba't ka malaki ngayon. At pupunta ka pa rin to the level that you're credible. Integrity pa rin kasi yan eh. Yun pa rin ang habulan dyan eh. Ano yung integrity mo bilang coach sa tinuturo mo? Kung kaya mo pangatawanan yan, at legit ka pa talaga ngayon yung kaya mo ituro. Kung hindi, sorry, madjudge ka. Yun lang talaga yun.
Tsaka yung pagtutuwang consistency, dapat makita rin sa'yo in one glimpse na some part si coach consistent. Like for example, yung siguro nakikita ko dyan is yung pag lagi ka nagbubuhat, kahit wala kang diet, diba? Hindi ka masyadong strict sa diet, hindi ka ng bodybuilding prep. Mapapansin ng client mo na, coach, parang ang tagal na kita nakikita dito, hindi nagbabago yung katawan mo, hindi ka tumataba, hindi ka mapayat. Tindig mo, hindi ka mo kumahina. It's because buhat lang ng buhat. Hindi mo nagpapaganda, walang plano magpaganda ng katawan. Just maintain the habit of lifting weights in life, diba? So, tama din. Kailangan you also walk the talk. Pero kung nanggagaling ako sa siguro sa academe. Kasi mga PE teachers na talagang
medyo malaki.
Talaga makikita mo na they have the environment, may gym naman sa school nila, may oras naman to work, ganun pa. So talagang ako, nakigets ko rin naman yung mga taong kung ano yung pinupoint.
Yung kinikriticize nila, no?
Parang you have the resources, the environment to really take care of yourselves. Tapos biglang wala kang ginagawa. Katama rin. Bababa talaga yung credibility mo dyan.
Kaya na may nakita akong post eh. Di ko lang kung sino yung coach nag-post. I just came across it on social media. Parang, Ozempic, GLP medicines, are they shortcut or not? And for me, if done and used for the right situation, right environment, it is medicine. It will save someone's life. But if you're doing it to get a certain look, that's not right. So it really boils down, what method do you use as a coach that is applicable to what the client desires? Kung yun yung hanapin mo lagi.
Nagkaroon din ng ganong client na parang nire-require siya mag-Ozempic.
It's a diabetic, Ben.
Diabetic. Kasi talaga eh. Sabi ko naman,
kung makakasave yun ang buhay niya, dahil bababa agad yung BMI niya, ba't hindi? Diba? Sino tayo? Kasi I think a lot of coaches are scared na para kapag nag-Ozempic, papayat na, hindi na sila kailangan.
Hindi naka-proud.
Para sa akin, hina mo bilang coach, no? Kung hilang ba siya, kalaban mo gamot. Yun lang, doon tatalo sa gamot.
Tapos, dahil sa gamot na yun na parang...
Wala ka na, di ba? Diyos ko, ako ba?
Meron na kilala kasi coach, na talagang...
Mababash tayo nito.
Sabi nga ni coach, dapat maging prepared. Pero kasi, marami kasi talagang gumagamit ng Ozempic for the shortcuts.
Madami. May nagtanong din sa akin client ko, yung girlfriend niya, uy, paggamitin ba natin si gano'n? Pare, una, scarce yung distribution niyang Ozempic. Konti lang yan. Pag pinagamit mo sa girlfriend mo yan, na hindi naman malaki. Ninanakaw mo ibang kliyente, ibang tao, na kailangan yung gamot na yun, wag mo ipag-take yan.
Ang daming reason para, tama din coach, kung talagang makasave ng buhay yan.
Di ba?
Yun din yung sinabi ko sa client ko na parang, pre, baka naman sinasabi siya dahil may at risk buhay mo. Sa akin, bakit mo in-open up sa akin? Hindi, coach, kasi baka ma-offend ka na isipin mo, shortcut ako. Sabi ko, pre, doktor yun.
Tsaka pare, kung shortcut, ba't naman hindi tayo? Kung mapabilis yung goal, ba't hindi, di ba? Eh di ba, mas mabilis mo gagawin ibang goals natin, di next level na tayo.
Diba?
Napaka-insecure kasi.
Kaya sabi ko sa kanila, pre, hindi, it's about saving your life. Kaya tarang, hindi ko na tawag doon, hindi ko na papakialaman yan. Ako, gagawin ko yung trabaho sa coach, gusto ko tang support.
Yes. The best we can do is research about it. So that, in addition to what the doctor told them, he can give insight. Okay, be aware of the side effects lang. You will feel ganito, di ka magugutom, kaya mag-time ka pa rin ng pagkain mo. Nag-ibon client, naka-Ozempic siya. And the doctor told him, you will not feel hungry at all. Sabi ko, yes. That's why you have to time your food better. Kasi right now, if you don't eat, ano yan, right? Oh.
Wala sa watch well.
Ay, watch ko. Kasi if you don't eat, what will happen is that you will feel, your body will erode din. So you have to time your food. Ang maganda lang yan, because naka-Ozempic ka, hindi ka na mag-binge. And that will help us, the both of us.
Yun yan. It's about yung survival nila. So ako din alam doon. So, tsaka madali namang kung pag secured kang coach, hindi mo ikakaya kung may client kang gano'n. Kasi alam mo kung paano ipaliwanag, bakit kailangan ng kliyente mo yun, di ba?
Talaga, may mga ganong coach na parang?
Na parang, may kilala ko na parang...
Tingin nila, Ozempic, shortcut daw.
Oo, tsaka parang sabi nila na, ayaw pag-take ng coach kasi parang dinadaya ko daw yung sarili ko. Pero sabi ko, wait lang. Diabetic ba pamilya niyo? Oh, yes, coach. Sabi ko, hindi ako makapag-comment. Parang dapat alam ng coach mo na it's not about you na gamit yung social proof eh. It's about you just simply saving your life.
And it's not about the coach itself.
Oo, di ba? Parang, iyakan mo yung tao. Supportahan mo na lang, di ba?
It's no one's it's how you use it, why are you using it, who's suggesting that you use it, di ba? Yun ang mga questions you have to answer more rather than put your ego there, na-apektuhan yung practice mo, kaya ayaw mo pag-Ozempicin yung tao. If it makes the job easier, make the client better, why not, right?
So, yun. Yung sa Ozempic, guys,
sorry, napunta na tayo
sa Ozempic. Pero it's more of like, talagang kapag may i-ingest kayo, ang bare minimum is magtanong kayo sa pinaka-expert talaga. So, hanggat maaari yung iwasan niyo yung, kahit na over-the-counter yan, may mga implications pa rin yan. So, it's better to really consult a professional. And please, hanggat man, wag pagdating sa mga medicine, wag fitness trainer.
Oo, Diyos ko po, kaya may mga doktor dyan eh.
Because may mga nagtatanong sa akin, Coach, pag nag-metformin ba ako, ba't sa akin ka nagtatanong? Hindi naman ako diabetes. Alam mo, simpleng fitness coach. Ayan. Coach, ito na-excited ako tanong sa ito. Kasi, because of the content you also do, and ngayon sinabi mo na, nasa entrepreneurship din pala yung background mo. So, paano mo masisiguro, coach, na yung quality of coaching mo sa mga clients mo is hindi na-compromise as you grow this business of yours?
I focus more on really just the value of what I offer to clients. I focus on three things. One, accountability. Am I making my clients accountable? Is the experience, second experience, is their experience with me high level? Is the community I'm building really good for them? Yun yung three things that I always focus on. Increase their accountability to themselves and to their goals. Give them the best experience ever, either by communicating, giving the best exercises, get the training that you want, go deeper, how to connect with them, and create a community that will all get along. Yan yung culture na gusto kong buhayin dito sa studio ko eh.
Kumbaga talagang hindi lang kayo mag-workout dito. Like, there's someone who will support you kung ano man goal mo.
Oh, tsaka habang the way I balance it is that the client is our number one priority. But what the client wants doesn't necessarily what they need. So that's part of the experience and support. And as coaches, since we're the subject matter experts of our field, tayo magsasabi anong gagawin nila. And that trust is what you build, and that's where clients will trust you. And from there, the business side will take care of itself. Ang ginro ko as an entrepreneur, as a fitness coach, is learning to price myself better. Yung tipong, do not be scared of pricing yourself a certain way just because not everyone's pricing themselves that way. In fitness kasi, madalas ang coaches, they would ask, magkano ba presyo mo sa session mo? Paano mo pinapresyo yung training mo? And then, gagayahin ko na lang yung presyo mo. Without realizing, Do you have the same value that you're offering? The value yung muna importante. And what do you stand for? From there, as an entrepreneur, doon mo papasok ano yung presyo na pwede na pasok sa kliyente mo. Yun doon lagi. That's how I really just try to balance it out. In fact, I don't even consider it balance. I consider it integrity. Integrity mo bilang isang entrepreneur, ito yung bibigay mo sa kliyente yung produkto at serbisyo. Integrity mo bilang coach, this is what I deserve. That awareness and self-belief na I'm giving the best to my clients. I deserve to be paid. And that's more than enough for me to balance it out. Pero sa akin, integrity kasi yan.
Yan din yung actually coach natutunan ko habang pinapakinggan kita na kapag piniprice mo rin ng tama yung sarili mo o parang unconsciously nag-aaka rin sa way na maging deserving ka dun sa...
Yes. Oh.
Kasi yung sinasabi ko, pag nag-price ka ng mura, hindi masyadong irereklamo kasi yung nagbayad sa'yo didn't lost that much para mabash ka or i-apprehend ka na. You're not functioning as my coach. Pero parang, dahil ang baba naman, palipasin ko na lang din yan.
Exactly, naging sessions, di ba? Hindi naging coaching.
Diba? So, hindi na naging coaching. So, I think, yung mga coaches dapat matuto rin mag-price ng tama. Coach, ito, as someone na nasa expert din sa entrepreneurship, kasi ako, nung natututunan kong mag-price, isa sa mga naging guiding question ko is, magkano yung willing kong ibayad sa sarili ko? Is that a good, benchmark kung paano pipresyon yung sarili mo?
That's a good starting benchmark, yes. But at some point, you have to consider, like for example, I built this gym. I invested so much here. Part of my savings, pinasok ko talaga dito. And that's part of what my service is offering. So, for me to take care of myself, hindi na siya tungkol ko ano magkano babayad ko sa sarili ko. I look at it long term. How do I grow myself further? And don't be scared of losing clients in the process kasi you really can't serve everyone. You can give tiers of offerings. Like for example, here, I have clients here who I train twice a week lang. I have clients here who I train once a week lang. So there's tiers of pricing.
Yeah.
Iba-iba yung pricing mo. So that you can still offer the same kind of service that is also adhering and honoring the investment you've had with yourself and with the studio. Yung one-on-one na parang what I'm willing to price myself, that can work if you're alone. Pero if you're investing, like sabi mo, gusto tayo ng studio mo eventually, you have to think about the investment that you've had in the studio. How do I recoup the investment I will give here? And that's a price I can also give to myself. And also, at some point, you will pay coaches. How will I pay these coaches to give the service that they can give to clients? So all of those things come into play. And it all boils down to, okay, what is fair to me? Where does my integrity stand for? Ano yung dapat para sa akin? Ano yung dapat presyo para sa kliyente? Ano yung pwede kong alagaan na merong consistent cash flow? Ano yung pwede kong alagaan na ma-recoup investment ko? All of those things ay kailangan mo isipin. Pero it all boils down, the better service you have, easier the pricing that you can give.
Sobrang agree ako sa mga tanong ni Coach, no, na parang kapag nag-pressure tayo is number one, it will sustain your basic needs to normally function a daily as a person, di ba? At the same time, yung pinag-investan mo, tsaka siguro confidence mo sa skill na you can really provide the value kapag kunyari binayaran ka na as a fitness coach.
Siguro what I can add to that, like I said a while ago, diba, goal ko, I want to prove there's money in fitness. And I also want to prove coaches can earn. Tayong coaches, huwag tayong matakot maging mayaman. Okay lang maging mayaman. Okay lang magkagusto ng pera as long as yung service na binibigay mo, okay siya, di ba? Inabuli mo, okay lang mangarap ng mas mataas. Tama na yung mga mga 200 per session.
Oh, naku, sobrang luma naman. Natry ko yung coach. Actually, yung 200% natry ko siya na 8 hours ako nagbantay sa gym na yun.
Talaga?
Hindi ko mamahalin yung trabaho.
Nag-aaral ka naman talaga.
Ayun, may masters ako ng tagal. Nung nagkataon lang talaga na tinry ko lang yung gusto ko matry yung mag-attend for sa isang gym dahil wala akong trabaho na sabi ko, ganito lang makukuha ng fitness coach. Paano magtatrabaho ng tama? 250 pesos, 8 hours gym.
Grabe, di ba? Imagine mo yun, no?
Parang hindi kayo mabubuhay doon. Sa akin, yun yung fear ko, na masani tayo doon sa pamurahan ng coach. Pero paano niyo makukuha yung mga results na gusto niyo kung hindi niyo magde-deliver yung coach? Kasi, yun nga, pinapantay lang nila sa kung magkano yung binayad niyo sana, which is value.
I'm sure maraming magdi-disagree doon. Kasi syempre, true naman na not all Filipinos can afford the coaching that we have. That's true. And someone will always say, kasi ganyan-ganyan, kaya yung gawin niya kasi nag-aaral kayo sa kung saan-saan, kami ganito. Okay lang din naman yun, wala mang problema doon. Ang point lang, huwag kayo mag-settle doon. You may start at 200, 300, 400, pero tumataas yung presyo mo, tinataas mo din yung serbisyo mo. Kasi kapag gutom ka, pagka music mura mo, pare, titigilan mo yung trabaho niyan.
Aayawan mo yan. Like, uunahin mo yung sarili mo bago yung kliyente na pinangakuan mo. Kaya dapat talaga, may self-sustaining din yung sinisingil natin. Tsaka, yun nga, na wala ka na ibang intindihin, dahil nagbayad na ng tama yung kliyente, wala ka na ibang intindihin, kundi maging deserving ka sa bayad na yun because yung method mo is full of integrity at tsaka, yun nga, systematic. Yung may value.
Tsaka hindi pong matanggal ka na sa idea na I'm being paid by the hour. Kailangan matanggal ka at some point doon na kailangan you look at it as service as a whole. Not just a service while you're there training a person inside the gym. Service yan sa labas. So, I like this book maybe you can check this out by Dan Martel. He's an entrepreneur. His book is Get Back Your Time or Buy Back Your Time. And that's the whole reason why you create businesses, to get back our time so that you can live our lives the best way. And you can never do that if you are just paying yourself by the session, you're always paying yourself by the hour, you're always on the floor coaching. At some point, you have to realize that you have to get out of that kind of mindset and create a service that will sustain you even if you're not on the floor.
Kasi di ba, hindi yan totoong business kung pag absent ka, it's not operating.
Okay lang naman, walang problema doon. That's called self-employment.
Diba?
Pero hindi siya business.
So, yan. I think, Coach, yung isan sa didiscuss ko yung part na yan, kasi Coach, may webinar ako sa September 6. Sabi ako, parang it's worth like, isi-share ko lang yung mga proven strategies ko on how I grow myself as an online finance. Siguro nagagaling nga ako na hindi lang siguro gatekeeper kaya gusto ko siyang pero kita nyo naman guys, baka hindi lang ito yung maging podcast namin ni kasi ako may tutunan din ako dahil entrepreneur may background ng entrepreneurship si Coach A maliban sa meron siyang fundamental background ng pagiging fitness coach tsaka life coaching. Kasi Coach, I think ngayon yung napag-usapan niya may lumalapit na organization sa akin. Gusto nila i-cover na after nila i-groom ang isang Filipino trainer, matuturing yung trainer, mahanap sila ng mga taong dapat nilang So, isa yun sa mga napapag-usapan namin. Baka one time, ma-open up. Balitaan mo na.
Hopefully, maano natin.
But I think it's a good project na hopefully mag-materialize. Coach, ako meron na siguro one last question. Ngayong, I believe coaching is not just a passion project. It's a business nga rin. Ang tanong, Coach, ano yung mindset pillars mo bilang isang fitness entrepreneur?
Mindset pillar. Siguro number one is that I'm not scared to earn from this. Because I love this. And I also love myself. And if I love myself, and if I love what I do, I shouldn't be scared earning. Because that's also how entrepreneurs function. They love themselves, they love what they do, they have this big offering to the world. So dapat, hindi ka takot bayarin yung sarili mo, number one. Number two, don't be I will never be stagnant in what I know. I will always try to find ways to make myself better. I love learning. Yan yung second pillar ko. Third pillar ko, all the time, is always coach with integrity. Huwag kang manluloko. And integrity doesn't mean na parang isang way ka lang Integrity, you're always trying. When someone asks you, sino ba tong coach na to na ganyan, na ginawa niya? Masasabi mo na parang, whether good or bad, masasabi mo kung anong totoong nangyari doon sa isang engage mo sa isang kliyente. Yan what I say is coaching integrity. Yan tatlong
So, wag takot mabayaran sarili, continuous learning, tapos coach with integrity. Tsaka siguro, Coach, iba yung mabait na coach sa coach na may integridad.
Oo, malayo yun.
Ang pagiging coach na may integrity is hindi lang pagiging mabait na coach.
In fact, mas magiging mabait ka kung meron ka integrity. Kasi stand for something
may pinanghawakan ka na isang bagay. Kaya, kusang lalabas yung kabaitan. Pero, pag may integridad kayo na coach, sometimes may hindi gusto yung client na gagawin mo, it's because hindi pleasant. It's more of like, hindi lang siguro sila sanay na yun yung kailangan nila. Kasi ako, may mga client ako na, sinabi ko talaga na, nag-worry ako sa'yo na para tinatapon mo lang yung pera, hindi mo ginagawa yung kailangan mong gawin. Sabi ko, ayoko na i-tolerate yan. Sabi ko, kung medyo mafe-feel bad ka, I understand. Pero I think I have to say that. Na kung barya lang yung binabayad mo sa akin, hindi yan barya sa, barya lang sa'yo, hindi yan barya sa akin. So, hopefully, you don't take this offensively. I just care about your goal.
Yeah.
So, ang pagiging mabait na coach, hindi ibig sabihin may integrity ka na. May integrity ka muna, susunod yung pagiging mabait.
Oo, totoo yan.
Ayan. Coach, siguro gusto ko rin siguro bigyan ng opportunity na ma-promote mo din yung studio mo. Kasi, guys, masarap mag-workout. Pag taga-Pasig kayo na malapit sa Bridgetown. But of course, ngayon pala sinasabi ko sa inyo, may sistema, may principle si coach sa pagkuha ng client dito. Siguro may idea na kayo kung anong klaseng kliyente dapat kayo. But yeah, I'll give coach the floor to promote or to tell more about his fitness studio. Say, coach.
Siguro more than my fitness studio, I'd like to just follow me along in my journey in content creation. My Instagram account is coach.a.riseup. I share my insights there because my goal is to democratize fitness information. I want fitness to be simple. And if you guys have time, if you want to be a client of mine, I run a private personal training studio that's purely personal training. And you guys can send me a message. We can talk more about your goals and what you want to achieve. And message me through Instagram.
Yeah. So, hindi lang to fitness studio na magte-train lang kaya. Like, you'll benefit a lot kasi hindi lang about you being instructed what to do, what to eat, but it's more of like how to do fitness better.
Yes.
Kasi you're being coached in a better way. Yeah. So, ako naman, coach, siguro ipapromote ko na rin yung online fitness course na kinrate ko. So, parang yung mga lessons ko from sports science class. Nirecord ko lang on my own branding. Tapos nilagay ko lang sa isang...
Galing, pare!
So, nung December...
Para, entrepreneurial yan! Tuloy mo yan, pare!
Kasi, natututo ako ng pandemic. Sabi ko, wait, dapat matutong magbenta sa sarili ko. Kasi mga tao mismo nagsasabi na, ipakilala mo naman yung sarili mo. So, I think, ang isa lang talaga pinangawa ko is magbenta ng may integridad tsaka ng ethical. So, yeah, gaya na sinabi ni Coach A. So, Legit Fit Masterclass, hindi naman siya yung parang talagang sobrang college course, but it's more of like, kinrate ko yung lectures in a layman's term na madaling maintindihan kahit fitness coach ka or just a fitness enthusiast. So, pwede nyo i-PM sa page ko to know kung paano maging part ng class. It's a lifetime access. Parang siya coach, mga 25 lecture videos.
Galing, ha?
So, talagang ginawa ko lang siya noong December. Paguran, grabe. Naramdaman na, entrepreneur ako. Nakikita ko something na hindi ko alam.
Kasi self-paced course yan, eh.
Self-paced course.
They do it on their own. Galing.
Tapos may community din doon. Hindi ko siya hard talagang pinopromote. Hinaya ko lang siya malaman ng ibang tao kasi may iba akong focus. But I already have 60 students there. So, hindi pa masyadong socializing, ha? Pero hopefully, magkaroon ako ng time.
Well, that's the best set of clients kasi referral yan, eh. I'm sure yung mga 6 students mo, they invited someone, try this out, check this out, coach mo, message mo si coach, ganyan.
Magkakaroon na kayo ng gano'n kapag, yun nga, may integrated tsaka ethical kayo mag-coach, yung word of mouth. Madaling ma-market yung sarili nyo kapag ginagawa yung coaching ng tama tsaka may malinis na intention.
Ayun pala, can you just add, kasi a lot of up-and-coming coaches are messaging me about my mentorship. I will be doing one mentorship siguro down the line, October probably, depending kung kailan namin ma-shoot. I'm just trying to get everything settled here kasi kakalipat ko lang ng studio ko. So from there, just watch out for my announcement of my mentorship. And there, I'll teach you, Juan, how to create your own niche, find your own voice in coaching, create your own systems, promote yourself, communicate better, on top of learning how to coach people. Yan ang goal namin dito. This is not your personal training certification course. This is me teaching you how to really conduct the business of coaching.
I-share ko rin yun. So, hingi ko rin yung details kay Coach A kasi ako, I'm after elevating the quality of coaching dito sa Philippines na I believe na hindi lang pagandaan ng katawan dapat yung mga fitness trainers dito para masabi na elevated yung competence natin. Dapat meron tayong like knowledge, communication skills, and of course, yung basic na mabuting tao tayo. So yun guys, kung di pa kayo nagsasubscribe, mag-subscribe na kayo. Tapos kung may mga takeaways kayo, huwag nyo kami forget itag ni Coach A sa mga stories ninyo. Tapos if ever natingin nyo may mga iba pang benefit dito sa mga contents natin sa Keep It Legit with Ja Podcast, share nyo lang din to. Sa ganun para lang namin talaga mapapaspill yung mga message na gusto naming ibigay lalo sa fitness industry. Although, hindi lang naman limited sa fitness but also self-development. Ito nga, legit self-development coach din pala si Coach Ambelimo sa fitness coach. So, I'm very blessed na napaulakan tayo ni Coach A. Hopefully, hindi pa ito yung maging last episode.
Of course.
Madami-dami. Ito pa lang ata, 8 pa lang ata episode ko So, marami tayong pwede.
Galing.
Then, follow nyo rin si Coach A kasi may mga projects, workshops na very sensible na I think na hindi na kami benefit as a fitness coach but basically as a person. Kasi nabanggit nga rin ni Coach, may life coaching skills din siya. So, holistic naman ang fitness So, you might wanna consider that. May gusto ka pang batiin, Coach, or
Very good. Thank you, Ja. Thank you for this opportunity.
Coach, everyone, Rise Ups Fitness Studio, if tingin nyo you are qualified to be coached by Coach A, nasa tapat ng bridge natin. Okay. Coach, kailangan na gano'n. Ako, kabinato na ako, na marami akong client na pag naramdaman kong I think hindi ako yung best coach sa
Tata.
I won't be able to help them or hindi magiging harmonious. Wala na lang mawawala. Mas ko at yung pera na
Yes.
So, in short, selective kami ni Coach sa mga clients namin. Right?
I think the better word, kasi may ma-offend kung selective, it's more of we are coaches for a certain set of people.
Yeah.
And everybody can be coach, pero you have to find the right coach for you.
Kung brutal, selective. Pero medyo may inclusion criteria.
Parang di naman tayo siya tumabash siya.
Kasi we believe naman na we're not the best coach for a certain group of people. Yun yung sabi namin, baka makakatulong kami sa a group of set of people lang. Hindi namin kaya lamunin lahat. So yun guys, again, huwag niyo makalimutan mag-subscribe and abangan yung mga next episodes. Marami yan matutunan dito. Okay? Thank you again, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you so much.